Night one of the 2020 Hercules Tire CA Men's Basketball Championship is wrap. I'm Bobby Broyles, joined by Mac McCarthy, who was on the call today for both first-round games. And, Mac, it was certainly an exciting first two games to start this tournament in this beautiful building for the first time in D.C. for the CA Men's Basketball Championship. Let's break it down, beginning with Drexel and UNCW. Dragons coming in on a 7-game losing streak, but they were able to kind of get off the schneid today and pick up a win, and they'll advance to take on HOFSTRA tomorrow.
Yeah, all the cliches apply at this time of the year. Everybody's 0-0, but you sit there and look at Drexel, and you've got Cameron Winter, and you've got James Butler, you've got one of the best point guards, one of the best centers in the league, and you just know they're a dangerous team if they get anybody else playing, and they got a couple extra folks contributing and played a really good game.
Absolutely, and like I said, the Dragons will advance to take on HOFSTRA tomorrow, the top seed. We'll preview that matchup here in a little bit, but let's wrap up with the nightcap, which probably was the game of the night. Elon didn't lead the whole game until the last 3 seconds there, Mac, and Marcus Sheffield, someone who struggled all night long, overcame all those obstacles there at the end.
JMU played really well.
They did.
They played the best defense I've seen them play. I watched a lot of video, a lot of film this year, and saw them on TV quite a bit. And, they struggled a little bit stopping the other team from shooting the ball well.
Yep.
And they did exactly the opposite tonight. They really played well on the defensive end, had some things going offensively, got off to a great start, and answered the challenges of Elon. When Elon got hot and made a couple baskets, they answered most of the time. And then right there at the end, Chris Wooten got hot, and you had Poser playing really well inside, and it came down to the end, a couple of possessions, and I'm going through the coaching scenarios saying, do you go to Wooten and take the jumper? Do you go back inside to take advantage of Poser, matched up down low against Wilson? And I said, no, it's Sheffield time.
Yes.
And it was. He scored 2 huge baskets when it mattered the most, despite struggling all night.
Yep, absolutely. And the Elon Phoenix will take on the William & Mary Tribe tomorrow. And then speaking of tomorrow, wall-to-wall action beginning at noon on flowhoops.com. We have the quarterfinals, and we begin with the regular season champions, the HOFSTRA Pride, taking on the Drexel Dragons. Obviously, Drexel will be coming in with some momentum, but HOFSTRA does present a lot of problems, I would assume, for Drexel tomorrow, just being the number 1 seed and what they've done all year.
How about DeJour Bowie?
Yes.
Who would have predicted that he would go from a really good point guard to a great point guard in one season, with Justin Wright Foreman leaving, Taylor leaving? You figure not a rebuild, but certainly not the favorite going in. And Joe Mihalik and his staff did a great job again. And they play small. They are vulnerable to some degree, but boy, they can beat you a lot of different ways. And we'll see. Sometimes that not playing that first day and somebody getting a game under their belt and a little more comfortable, maybe it'll be more competitive than chalk would say.
Absolutely. And like you always say, Drexel has a point guard and they have a man down low. They can definitely present some problems.
Yeah, and I was surprised that they didn't play better down the stretch, and Zach does a really good job. And they didn't look like a team that had lost all those games down the stretch tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that game tips off at noon tomorrow. Following that game will be the 4-5 game, and that game always shapes up to kind of be the game of the day just because of the close seeding. They're usually the close records. We got the 4th seed College of Charleston Cougars and Grant Riller taking on the Delaware Blue Hens, and they got a great starting 5 led by Nate Darling.
2 really talented teams, and Martin Ingleby's done such a good job. They literally have gotten better record-wise every single year, and that's despite a lot of roster attrition and volatility, and he still continues to improve. And he's got his best bunch, and they're pretty darn good. But hey, Grant Riller and the College of Charleston, they believe they're supposed to win this tournament. So I'm sure they're surprised to be where they are at in the seeding, but nobody wants to take on the college in the CAA tournament, no matter where you're playing the tournament.
Absolutely. So that'll be the 4-5 game, tipping off at approximately 2:30, and then at 6 o'clock, the night session begins, and we'll see the William & Mary Tribe and the CAA Player of the Year, Nathan Knight, and they will take on the Elon Phoenix, and obviously the Phoenix coming off that emotional win tonight.
Yeah, and how about the job Fisher has done?
Yes.
You have roster attrition, but you do have Nathan Knight back.
Yes, you
and
do.
that's a good place to start.
That's a very good place to start.
You've got to start somewhere. Start with the best guy in the league, and a rivalry kind of game. Elon and William & Mary, I guess, travel and all that.
Yep.
They are probably pretty proximate and similar schools. And Elon played not their best game, but they've played. They've won 6 out of the last 9 too. But it's not a great matchup because Nathan Knight. It's hard to have a good matchup with Nathan Knight.
Absolutely, the CAA Player of the Year. We will see him tomorrow at around 6 o'clock, and then the nightcap will be Northeastern and Towson. And these teams wrapped up playing each other in the last game of the regular season up in Boston, and it came down to the wire. And that should be a great matchup as well. You get to see Jordan Rowland and Alan B. Tran for Towson and Brian Fobbs. A lot of great scores in the nightcap tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I always tend to look at it through the coach's lens, but Bill Cohen, one of the best anywhere, and has been that a long time. And what a good job Pat Scarry has done. I caught him early in the year, had a game against Drexel early in the season on television, and at that point Towson wasn't playing great, but boy did they catch fire. Won 6 or 7 in a row, and started to play like the team that we thought they could be, and got a lot of contributions. Fobbs is one of those guys who can go off for 30 or 40 any single night.
Absolutely.
And you know, if you play for Pat Scarry, you're going to defend and you're going to rebound every single night, or you don't get to play.
Exactly. So we'll see the defending conference champs tomorrow night taking on Towson at 8:30. And like we said, all 4 games tomorrow in the quarterfinals will be on flowhoops.com. So make sure to tune in and always stay with casports.com for the latest happening around this tournament.